And then in terms of biofuels, the biofuels option, there's been some degree of controversy around it. A lot of companies have struggled in Hawaii to make the technology work, and when we're talking about biofuels, we mean drop-in fuels that the utility can put into their generators. But there's also been a lot of excitement around it. We have two companies, Solana and FICAL, who've gotten a lot of attention for their biofuels from algae programs. But there's also been a lot of hype, and a lot of companies have gone under nationally and internationally. Do you feel like finally we're starting to move further towards commercialization of the algae biofuels?
I think the algae-based biofuels are definitely an important part of the wave of the future, especially for aviation fuel. I'm on an advisory board of Solazyme, which went public back last spring, and it produces biofuels from heterotrophic algae that do not do photosynthesis, algae that can operate to take cheap sugar that you would say buy from Brazil and turn it into aviation fuel, as well as a lot of other products, in steel containers in the cellar of buildings. Doesn't need any land at all. And is doing well, as are one or two of the other algae companies. I tend not to think that biofuels being burned to produce electricity is the way to go for the future. I think geothermal is much more promising. You might have to do that to some extent, but the algae-based fuels, both photosynthetic and the heterotrophic, I think have a lot of promise for transportation and especially here, aviation fuel is very important. To be able to produce Hawaii's own aviation fuel from algae for aircraft to refuel as they come here is, I think, just an extremely promising and cost-effective possibility.
And some of the company executives that are in the biofuel